These are my secret hacks for selling on Vinted. Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm George, I'm a reseller, and I talk all things eBay, reselling, self-employment, finance. Try to anyway, because I haven't really put out much content in the past couple of days. I feel like everybody's talking about Vinted at the moment, and for good reason. It really is starting to become what, I don't want to say it too loud to scare people, but eBay killer. It's not. eBay's the big boy and it's going to be around forever, but Vinted is seriously taking a chunk out of the market, and other platforms are reacting to Vinted. So Vinted is the pioneer moving forward. So all eyes are on Vinted at the moment. So I wanted to share like the top 10 obvious things that I do on Vinted to make sales. Number one, if you're going to take pictures, make sure that they're clear. And number two, make sure that there is more than one. Buyers want to see as many as possible. You want buyers to be happy before they've even purchased the item. So showing them as many angles as possible and showing even the defects, they can then make an informed choice. Another thing that I've noticed as well on quite a few as a buyer on Vinted, there are so many people who are putting pictures up and say like the t-shirts hardly even ironed. Like wash and iron them, just it's so simple. My OCD might be kicking in, but iron your clothing. Oh, this is a good one. So don't be afraid to list in multiple categories. When it comes to searching within a store or a shop, I feel like Depop is a little bit hard to navigate, and I feel like eBay is very clunky when it comes to that opportunity for buyers. Whereas Vinted, it is actually quite simple. They can just put in a filter and it'll come through whatever, and then you can bundle up items from different categories as well. I feel like it's a lot more friendlier to the buyers. Remember, people don't just buy for themselves, they buy for other people. I was speaking to another reseller who does mums and baby stuff. Their Vinted closet is tailored towards that because they end up buying so much together, more so than men's stuff as well. Turn on the bundle feature. You can do it from, what is it 5% if you buy 2 items, 10% if it's 3, 20% or 15% if you buy 4 or more. It's in your control. You can turn it on and off or do whatever kind of percentages you feel is right, but yeah, turn it on. More people, more options to bundle up, the better. Next one, consistency is key. No matter what platform that you're on, I think if you continually tickle the algorithm every day, then it does kind of like make it a little bit more happy, and it might push your listings towards certain buyers. I do believe that. However, resellers aren't supposed to be on the Vinted platform. We all know this, we all know they get in trouble. We are all waiting for Vinted Pro to come out. It is available in France, I believe, but it's taking its time to get to here. And once it does, we will no longer have to live in fear of getting caught out. So my strategy is list or cross-list no more than 10 a day, which keeps it under the radar. I mean, I've seen people's shops where they have like thousands, but then I've seen people on Instagram who said I've only just put up 3 items and have been kicked off. So I don't know. I think it's like, I think they're not as hard on us at the moment because I think they are aware that Vinted Pro's come in, so they're just kind of like letting everyone kind of like go in. But yeah, just be careful, have a strategy, stick to it, be consistent. Okay, this is another one. Be honest about the condition. Case in point, this North Face will look good on a listing. It's a brown North Face with a yellow inside fleece. It's pretty good, right? Well, not really. When you look closer, look at the fade-in. Put the fade-ins, put the phrase, put any sort of imperfection, holes. Now, will I sell that? I probably will put it on Vinted, but I'll put it up for like a tenner or something. But make sure that you take pictures and make sure that you put them in the description. Obvious tip. Okay, and next one is kind of one that's kind of recent. Make sure that you're packaging your items correctly. Has anyone else been on TikTok or Insta Reels and seen the Vinted packaging? There was somebody who had a pair of trainers in a bread bag, in a plastic bread bag. Another person had a t-shirt wrapped up and put in a multi-pack of crisps, like a plastic, and then just sellotape round. Like, I'm all for recycling. I am all for, recycling, Earth Day, yay. However, you don't want to give the buyer an opportunity to leave any sort of negative kind of sarcastic comments in the feedback. It costs like £9 for like 100. So proper bags, easy peasy, invest. When it comes to boxes, however, I do understand like you can get away with it, but when it comes to bags, just look a little bit professional. You can go a long way. Okay, these are my secret hacks for selling on Vinted. When I say secret, I do actually just mean doing a Google search. Number one, I had no idea, but then again, I don't really sell a lot of women's clothing. If you're doing women's dresses, cinch the waist to an hourglass shape. I'll put it up here. But there's a Vinted seller that swears by this, and I can kind of see a point, but then that's kind of given a false impression in my opinion, but apparently it worked. Ooh, number two's a good one. Ooh, I like this one because I've actually tried it and it has generated a sale. Whether or not it's because of that, I don't know. Go into your settings and switch on holiday mode or vacation mode, I think it's called. Switch on, leave it for a couple of days, then switch it back. This apparently gives your whole wardrobe a boost. Lots of people on this lady's TikTok said it works. Of course I'm going to believe TikTok, obviously. When it comes to Vinted's tools, you can actually bump per item. Now it's like, they say, I think it's like £1 for 3 days. Well, if you've got like 500, it's 500 quid for 3 days with no guarantee that they're going to sell. I would rather spotlight my whole wardrobe for £6.95 for the week. That might generate some more views. Oh, there is a caveat with this. Apparently don't do it too many times. I'm going to try it once a month and see how I go. But the first time I've done it, generated a sale. So choose your keywords carefully for the title, but for the description to put where you can wear an item, if it's clothing, obviously. Hen do, races, to the races. Cinema, bar, garden. This person also prefers people to model their clothing. She says it gives them a more fit. People want to see how it fits, even if you put in the measurements. Yeah, she says there are some things that even measurements can't show, which is kind of unfair because like I've got a lot of medium stuff and obviously I can't model medium stuff. However, I've got a mannequin, so surely that's the same thing. But I've noticed Flatlays, a lot of people like Flatlays. Ooh, be aware of Vinted's posting options. You go into Postage settings and it has a slew of options and you can pick which ones you prefer, because there's not much point in putting every if there's no every store, drop-off store near you. There's not much point putting in-post if the in-post is like say 2 towns over. More than likely they're not, they're everywhere now. But you can pick and choose which ones you want and which ones you prefer. I've actually done this. I just chose every because my every store is just down the road. So I've actually done this. However, I've had somebody contact me and say, would you do in-post please? And I was like, it's the same thing really. The same parent company owns both of them. But anyhow, I said yes, that's fine, and I put it and everything worked out fine. But yeah, make sure it's alright for you, because otherwise you're spending more money travelling to these places and it's like, come on, I'm meant to be saving money. There's a TikTok Vinted influencer called Amanda Rollins and she says pricing is everything. People want a bargain. I feel like some people think that Vinted, you can get bargains. A lot of resellers have started to, hate this word, but snipe off Vinted, and even with the buyer premium and the postage, like you can get some good stuff. But like the everyday person who are just looking for stuff, they want it cheap. The thing is, Vinted, they don't charge any fees, so you could lower your fees a little bit lower than eBay's and see how you get on. The only problem with that is though, I do get a lot of offers that are like 50% off, or like if I put something up at £30, I get offers of £10, and I'm like, no. So all you do is just counter that and just see where it gets you. And if they don't want it, they won't buy it. And if they do want it, they'll buy it. What annoys me though sometimes is if you accept an offer and then they don't pay. That is annoying. Oh, I like this one. Draft bulk. If you draft bulk like you do on eBay, or if you do put your store on holiday mode, you can list stuff that isn't active. It will keep that as inactive, so it will give you a chance to maybe put up an extra like 10-15 items, and then as soon as you switch off holiday modes, it will turn them live. But it is a good idea. I have started using the draft function a little bit more on Vinted. That function is basically the same as eBay. So Vinted doesn't have the option of sending bulk offers out. Depop, I've just figured out how to do that. eBay has kind of got that under its belt now, and you can send offers to how many watches you have. But Vinted doesn't. It has, when anybody likes an item, you can then send them an offer. There's two trains of thought. You have to have notifications on. So if somebody likes it, you get notified, and then you can send them an immediate offer. They might be still in that frame of mind, oh, I want this, and they could say yes and pay for it. But if somebody's on the way to work and they're just like, oh, I like that, oh, I like that, oh, I like that. Like I do it. I basically like stuff that I have no intention of buying, but I like it and I might buy later on. And the second school of thought is when you send an offer out. I feel like tea time or dinner time after like 4 or 5, when people are at home, like just either before or after dinner, and on Sundays when people are like lazing around and just watching telly, I feel like that's probably the best time to send out offers, because they're probably on their phone, they probably got notifications on, and then boom, it comes up, and then they can counter or accept. I think that's probably the best time to do it. This is the last one, I promise. But I feel like Vinted buyers are a lot more eager to leave positive feedback, or feedback just in general. I haven't got any proper negative feedback. I've had like a 4-star one, and it was basically like, it arrived, but it wasn't what I thought. And I was like, well, that's an item problem. It's not like, but I've let it go. I've just kind of, because you can reply to them. And I feel like if you get a negative feedback, of course you want to defend yourself, but just be careful what you put in response to that feedback, because other buyers can see, and they can see, oh, this person's a little bit touchy when it comes to things that they sell. Other people can see your feedback on what you write, so just be careful. If it's not worth it, it's not worth it. Just let it go. Which is very easy for me to say, even though like I find it very hard to do. I am one of those people. I'm sure there's going to be more coming, and I'm sure like when Vinted Pro gets here, it's going to change the ball game, and they're always updating, and always like these conspiracy theories about what sells, how do you position an item, what kind of pricing structure do you have. There's so many, and loads of people have loads of different schools of thought on it. But what's yours? Do you have any secret tips that you're willing to share? Sharing's caring. Yeah, please sound off below, and yes, thank you everybody for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.